Hey everybody, this is Ash for the Triple S League, and I'm here with Cybsidian as always, and we are going to be diving into the 48 minutes of gameplay footage for Cyberpunk 2077 that was just released by CD Projekt Red earlier this week, and I've just come back from a couple of weeks of much-needed vacation, and what better way to return to work than to have this dropped on my plate right away. This was really exciting.
Yeah, so what did you think of it right off the top?
Right off the bat, I thought the timing of this was really interesting. So, I mean, Gamescom just wrapped up last week, and after E3 this year, we were left with the feeling like this game is a long way off. We're not going to be seeing gameplay for a very long time, possibly not even till the following E3, is maybe when we'll get the first glimpse of gameplay. Suddenly, Gamescom wraps up, and boom, the next Monday, they drop 48 minutes of gameplay. Like, what do you think the rationale was behind this, and what's going on?
I'll give you the probable reason, and then I'll give you the conspiratorial reason. So the probable reason is that the community has just been asking for this non-stop, and they had started to pick up some really bristly comments from the fans saying, like, oh, when are you going to stop, like, favoriting, these media people, and when are you actually going to give us give us a chance to even see what they're seeing? Like, if it's good enough to be showing to all these reporters, isn't there something of it that's good enough for you to show to us? Like, anything? Like, we're hearing that this footage is really amazing, we're hearing that it's really well produced, we're hearing that there's no major, like, huge glaring graphical glitches or anything. So is it really that bad? Like, can you really just not show us? The other reason why I heard that it was released is that somebody had managed to get some footage, or they feared that somebody had managed to get some footage that they kind of got a bit of a heads up about, and that footage was going to go live. And if that footage was going to go live, then they might as well upstage it. The reason why I think that's a little bit on the conspiratorial side, and why I don't actually think that was the real reason why this went live, is that it wasn't like it was clearly planned out. Like, it was something that they had been planning and preparing.
Well, it obviously took some preparation time, because it's a walkthrough of a couple of the missions, and there's lots of explaining of what's going on in the world and that kind of a thing. This is obviously something that was made for the general public.
Yeah, absolutely. So going into it, how do you think the game looks right now, knowing that this is still, like, they still haven't finished this game? Is this a game that you're really excited for? Is there any concerns that you have? Like, where is it standing right now?
In general, I was pretty blown away. I was blown away by the sheer scale of everything, and not just the physical size of everything, but just the depth. What I felt was there were layers upon layers upon layers in this game, and in this game world, in terms of the choices you can make and the consequences those will have, in terms of the customization choices that you make, and how that'll affect how you interact with the world, and how you go about different situations. And it just felt like the layers of this game go really deep, and so it's going to be a very, very in-depth RPG in that respect, where it almost seems like the possibilities are endless, kind of like what you would get in the pen and paper version of the game. And so obviously there will be limits and constraints somewhere, but I was overwhelmed by it. I was like, whoa, this is so complicated. Am I going to be able to figure everything out? But after kind of watching through it again and digesting it a bit, I was like, oh, this is very cool, and it's going to be a really excellent experience in terms of just wanting to get lost in a game that really offers you a ton of immersion and a ton of choice and a ton of openness in terms of what you can do.
Yeah, basically my quick rundown is that we see how the combat system is starting to formulate. It's looking like it's going to be really good. There are some big challenges in the way that these kind of shooters work. There's definitely room, I think, for what we can see, different kind of combat play styles. I think the combat overall is definitely getting there for where they say it is, where it's pre-alpha. It's looking pretty good. There are some minor concerns, and there was some concerns about, like, combat was a little dry. But I see where they're going with this, and as long as they tighten up a few of those things, I think it'll be pretty good. As far as the roleplay element to the game, it's definitely there. I don't see it coming into effect in the combat scenarios. I see it affecting the build up to them. I really did like the scenarios leading up to the bot exchange, and I liked how, you know, there is a lot of room for diversity as far as like how you're approaching the situation. Do you want to like sneak in and murder them all off, or do you want to, you know, sit there and negotiate and use that cool stat and that intelligence stat, kind of really making a change in the scenario, like saying, hey, there's a virus on that chip. And as long as they give us those options, then I think they'll be following through with their promise of bringing a good RPG in this. So yeah, I'm overall, as far as those aspects go, it's looking really great. As far as the motion sickness, the one of the bigger worries that the community has been pretty vocal about, it wasn't filmed with a high FOV, and I think that when you install this game on your computer and you're able to adjust those FOV settings, then I think those will be probably greatly improved as to what we saw currently. What we saw currently was, it was smooth, it was really smooth, but it was...
They had the movement sensitivity turned way down.
Yes, exactly.
I'm thinking that was a deliberate choice, possibly because of the concerns about motion sickness.
So as far as the overall, as far as my fears and my concerns, I'm really quite confident that they're going to be on top of this stuff, and I'm really quite confident that we're going to see when this game enters the beta stage, there's going to be a lot of improvements, and it's going to be, you know, I think this is really going to be one of the best games of the generation that it comes out at, whether that's this generation or next generation, we'll see. Not a fan of the first-person driving at all, period. Just as soon as it started, I was like, oh no, this is not good.
First-person driving in games is next to impossible.
In games, no, it's so difficult. It's not fun at all.
We did see, of course, that, you know, you're able to switch to third-person view for the driving and get sort of a standard kind of GTA driving going on, which is actually another thing I wanted to talk about, because the driving looked like it was very freestyle. And there was one scene where you're driving along, and you know, the person, whoever was driving, they very narrowly, you know, passed by a pedestrian that was walking the other way. If it has that kind of freestyle driving, is there the possibility for Grand Theft Auto style murder and mayhem on the freeways? And is that going to, you know, bring the cops down on your head or that kind of thing, or is it? I don't know, are there some kind of mechanics in place to make sure you're not constantly getting into accidents? Because playing GTA, even if you're driving carefully, you're always banging into other cars, or at least I am.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just bad, I don't know.
Yeah,
like you, I liked a lot of what I saw. I did, at the beginning, I kind of felt like the combat was a little slow, but then you know, people started firing through walls, and there were all these neat mechanics, and, you know, the destructible environments, and I was like, yeah, this is really cool.
Actually, I should mention this here, because this is a really important point you've brought up. In gameplay trailers and in gameplay footage that a studio is releasing showing the status and functionality of a game, the combat never ever looks like what you're gonna see when you let a gamer who's very accustomed to the game, the controls, play through the same thing.
Yeah.
You're not going to see this you know, I'm slowly walking up to the door, I'm slowly opening the door, I'm panning slowly over to the left.
Well, absolutely. And then there is the fact that they had the sensitivities turned down so low, and that probably is what led to the sort of the sluggish feel at the beginning that I felt. But once the mechanics, once we started seeing the different mechanics and the different features of the combat, I got quite excited about it, and just especially near the end when they turned on sort of the high level abilities, and you know, there was the, you know, the wall clinging and the, you know, tracking bullets, and the ricochet thing was really cool, where she jumps onto the wall and is clinging to the wall and then hacks the enemy so he can't fire his weapon. That was really awesome, and kind of got a bit of a Dishonored feel, like a high-tech Dishonored feel from that, and I loved, you know, I loved Dishonored, and so to sort of have that sort of similar feeling in a sci-fi setting, and then, you know, where the scene where you meet with that corporate agent and the guns are right in your face, I got that same kind of feeling. It reminded me of the one of the opening scenes in Dishonored. Really loved that, so I got pretty excited about that. So I feel like it's gonna be a very immersive experience. There's gonna be lots of options, lots of different play styles for the combat. You know, you can play it more stealthily, you can play cover-based, you could probably play more of a tank where you just run in and blast everybody. The idea that you can actually hack people, you know, because they're all networked and stuff, it just opens up so many possibilities. It's kind of mind-blowing. So there's going to be tons and tons of options. And the other thing that jumped out at me is the companions. I mean, we saw the one companion, Jackie, and well, then you also had the hacker companion.
And the robot dog. The
robot dog, yes. The robot spider bot thing. The companions were doing a lot of interesting things. You know, as you were running around, you know, you had your hacker on the comm who was helping you out in different situations. But another moment that just jumped out at me was during that boss fight near the end, where Jackie lifts up the car and uses it as a shield. I was like, that is awesome.
Yeah, so that, like, once we get into the nitty-gritty of this, I think this game is going to be stellar stand-up. I think it's going to be absolutely great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm still really excited for this. Some of my concerns have been greatly relieved. Other ones I know that, like, I can clearly see that they're working on it, and the direction of where they're heading is good. And barring any major issues or catastrophes, I think we're gonna have a really good game.
Yes, I agree. This game is looking awesome, and it looks like there is a lot to be excited for. So that's our take on the 48 minutes of gameplay footage that was just released at the beginning of this week. Let us know what you think. Drop a comment down below, or you can talk to us on our Discord server. You can find the link to that in the description below. My name is Ashenity. On behalf of Cyberpunk, thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, sub, and hit that notification bell, and then check out some of these other videos. Find the link to our Discord server and other important stuff in the description below.